Well, thank you for joining us on this session on interest, simple and compound, for both core and extended. These are past paper questions. The first question will be based on a core paper, and let's have a look at this question. So this question says that Prince Charming invests $3,000 for 5 years at a rate of 4% per year, simple interest. Calculate the total interest he will receive. So we want the total interest. Now there is a formula for simple interest, and simple interest is the formula which is multiply principal times the rate times time. Now the principal we're investing is $3,000. The rate is 4%. Now 4%, you can leave it as a 4% or you can change it into 0.04, and time is 5 years. It's important that these are the same units, and I think they won't be confusing you on the IGCSE. So we can pick up our calculator. We could change this if you like. Some people prefer to change 4% into 0.04, and then you've got 3 numbers to multiply. So let's get the calculator open, and let's just choose a standard calculator, and we want, let's move it aside, it was 3,000 times 0.04 multiplied by 5 equals 600. Now, this is the simple interest. The total interest he will receive is in fact that was a dollar sign, hang on. $600, so that is the total interest that you will get. If it's 2 marks, remember, 2 marks, quite often we're looking for some working, so you will get a mark in here and a mark here. Good. Let's have a look at, this was the core from the core paper, and let's have a look at for the benefit of those extended, what type of question you can have on interest if you have the extended paper. So if you're core, you could shut down now, and thank you for joining us, and hopefully you join us on other sessions that benefit you. George invests $5,000 for 14 years at a rate of 2% per year. Now, you don't really need a formula, but you can use a formula, because what's happening here is George is going to invest, he's going to earn 2% every year. So if you times that by 1.02, then you will get what he gets after 1 year. 5,000 times 1.02. 1.02. Now, notice when I pressed it the second time, it took the answer and multiplied by 1.02. So after 1 year, George makes 5,100. After 2 years, George makes 5,202. That's 2. If I press this 14 times, I've already pressed twice, I will get my answer. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Where were we up to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now here we have the answer after 14 years. This is compounding. Each year it's one. Notice it's 1.02% of the answer, 1.2% of the previous answer. Each time it's the answer times 1.02. Well, that's one way you could do it. The answer was 6597.39. 6597.39. 659739. Well, what we did, just to show you, if I scroll back, we done times one, we got 5,100, then 5,100 times 1.2, 1.02, and that gave us 5202. And then the answer times 1.02, etc., etc., until we've got after 1 year, after 2 years, dot, 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 after 14 years. Now, if you use a calculator formula, the calculator formula, there is a formula which says, oh, calculate, let's just check this, calculate the interest. Okay, let's just go back. This is not the interest. This is how much he gets altogether. So we want just the interest. The interest is 6,597.39 minus what he started with, $5,000, and that is $1,597.39. So we've got to put in here $1,597.39. Oh, correct to the nearest dollar. We're still not finished, so we can't say 0.39. We must say 00 because that's rounded down, it's below 50 cents. And so to the nearest dollar, we can actually just answer it as $1,597. Now I mentioned there was a formula, and you don't need to know this formula, but some already have used the compound interest amount, the compound interest amount, not interest, will equal principal times 1 plus that r to the power of n. So it was 5,000. 1 plus 2% is 0.02 to the power of 14. So 5,000 in one step times 1.02 to the power of 14 would give us, let's go to this scientific calculator here, 5,000 times 1.02 to the power of 14. That will give us 6597.39. We're waiting for that to disappear. 6597.39. And then remember, we want the interest, so we have to then subtract what our principal that we started with, subtract 5,000, and we get 1,597.39, and then round off to the nearest dollar to give our answer. All right, so that is the two questions, core and extended. Let's have a look at our solutions. Our core answer is, if I can go down, can I? There it is. Our core answer was 600. We get 1 mark for principal times rate times time to get that 2 marks. So there's the working that I mentioned for the 1 mark. And so we've got, that's correct. Just highlight that, $600, yes. And then the answer for part 2, 1597. Notice there's 3 marks if you forgot to round off to the nearest dollar, and it was also 2 marks if you forgot to subtract 5,000. We almost ended up with 2 marks because I wrote the answer in without looking at the question, which was what was the interest. So we have to subtract 5,000 to collect the final interest. And remember, to the nearest dollar, 1 mark rounded off. So we've got 1597 and we've got 1597. So that's wonderful. Hope this has been helpful, and until I talk to you again or help you with some future question, and my PowerPoint's not responding, stay happy. Oh, in bright yellow. Is it going to keep going? No, it's giving me a break. All right. Stay happy.